uh, bumper music might be really appropriate.
Yeah, we can hit some music. Welcome everybody to another Infinite Green Live Partner Perspectives, and we had a little issue where our partners had some family conflicts today, and so they're unable to make it. So the theme of today is we're going to talk a little bit more about the importance of family.
Yeah, so if anyone was really interested in, hearing from our Vonage partners, and of course we're rescheduling that for a session soon, but but we thought we'd jump on here anyway and make sure that we talk to the audience. And again, Scott and I have built this business over 16 years, and as I was talking to our partners right before this session started, and they called out just what they were trying to figure out how to jump on and all this stuff, and I said, hey, all this tech and business and everything else doesn't matter. What matters is family, and you take care of family first always. And if, for any of you that watched the US Open yesterday golf tournament, if you know who JJ Spawn is, he eventually won the golf tournament, but in the post conference call or conference room session with the press, he let everybody know. They asked him what he did in the morning to prepare and all this stuff, and he said, "Well, I was up at 3 a.m. because my wife was up with our daughter who was throwing up and couldn't get relief, and so I had to go to CVS at 3 a.m. and get some meds." And what a great Father's Day story about you just take care of kids and you take care of your family first. And then there's like this golf tournament that he's competing in and in the actual contention for, and he ends up winning. So anyway, what a good story from his perspective. His daughter's fine, but again, Scott and I thought it would be good for us just to share how important it was to take time and to not sweat some of this stuff, like all the AI craziness and all the business craziness and all that stuff that's out there. But I don't know. Scott, what do you think?
I think family is family is important. I don't have a ton of family here locally. A lot of my family is on the East Coast. A lot of my wife's family is on the East Coast. So I don't have access to be with family very often. So I try to take advantage of it when I can through travel and through other means. But you just never know what's going to happen. I know we have aging parents, and they're not in constant turmoil, but they're constantly top of mind because they're going through things in later stages of their lives, and you just never know what's going to happen. So taking advantage of the time you have and the relationships that you have by visiting and communicating, I think really important, very
Yeah.
important, because you just
Yeah.
never know.
And I mean, it gets back to your team, and you never kind of know who's going through what or whatever. But again, I think one of the things that, again, you and I, Scott, have talked about and really have tried to instill within our team at Infinite Green is, don't let something, impact your moral compass or don't have a moral dilemma about it. I mean, this business, whether it's life and death or whether it isn't life and death, your family and your person is way more important than all the stuff that'll be here tomorrow or the next day or the next week or next month um, instead. So we've got family members that have, new um, babies on the way. We have family members with aging parents, to your point, Scott. We have family members that are, going through their own physical, mental journey, and June being Mental Awareness Month, I believe. Um, it's a good reminder to take a good inventory of all the things that are really important to you, and to make sure that aligns with whatever company or whatever gig or job that you're working on. And really, again, that it's that most important part of the community that I think we all aspire to be supportive of, but also as we're in that, we should expect to get some support from that as well. And I think we've got great partners and great team members. And Scott, you and Elizabeth and the family have always been just fantastic to Cindy and I and the girls, and I just think it's a testament to keeping our priorities appropriate and straight, and supporting our community the way they need to be supported when they're in a situation that they need help with.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we try to include family in our events and other things that we do. So a lot of our partners get to know our extended families, our wives, our daughters. From you've seen we have had events in Colorado that my wife and daughter co-worked with us. We have events in Minnesota that your family has
Yeah,
been a part of, and I think that's what makes another thing that makes Infinite Green not necessarily special. That's not the right word, but by including them in those events and part of the community, I think it makes us stronger and a more diverse company. And I think it goes to the staying power that we've had for 16 and a half years
yep,
in this business. But it's also thanks to including them and and having our partners experience what it's like
yep,
to have families as part of the business, and it has its it can have its challenges, but I think it's way more rewarding than challenging.
yeah. It's it anchors us, right? I think that's probably a good. As you were talking, it felt like, how do we really anchor ourselves within all of the noise and the craziness and everything that's within the just the world of business. We just got back from Vegas, and we've been traveling. Both of us have been traveling, and we get some chance to take some time now. But I think of kind of the CX journey that we've been helping companies evolve into, and to really defining and helping them. And those anchor points are so important to, what is it that you want your customer to leave with? And what are some of those anchors that, no matter what, if it's a good or bad experience, or lucrative, or, it's a cost to you or whatever, what are those things that you just want to maintain within your customer base, or within your family, if you will, your business family? And it's a lot of what we do day in and day out, Scott. It's how we've helped 350 some clients over the 16 years move from point A to some point, beyond the spectrum, or beyond that point A. And I would say that pretty confidently, 100% of those engagements, we've always talked about what are those anchors that really make you unique, special, and aligned within your teams. And a lot of times they aren't. So that's a big exercise and a big step that we like to take with companies. But, um, again, the desire is to have that centering point around, what truly is important. And this just gets back to kind of that family element that we rely on, and we um, help to facilitate within our own team and within our clients' teams on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun analogy to make. A good CX strategy and how you would invite an extended family to a holiday dinner, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't send out the invite to everybody the same exact way,
Right. Right.
right? You would tailor the conversation specific to very specific people's and their needs, right? You design an experience for everybody to some extent, right?
Right.
Making sure that you know cousin or Uncle Bob has his favorite food represented, even though everybody else hates it.
Right. Right.
Right. And it's a great analogy between how you interact with your extended family and how you design a CX strategy.
Yeah.
Right, a good CX strategy has that level of diversity and tailored types of experiences to your customer sets, and it's not the standard path for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not just that vanilla. Hey, we're having a dinner party. Everybody gets the same invite. You have the same set of instructions. You have the same information. You tailor it based on what the needs of your family are.
And what you kind of are representing from your own side, right? You wouldn't say, "Hey, I'll go and feed my vegetarian or my vegan family members meat just because it's your house. But you would say, hey, there are alternatives, or if there's going to be both parties or both sides there, um, we'll have alternatives for each preference, right? So I think again, to your point, like it gets to those uniquenesses within business. Like I can take 10 retail companies and put them side by side, and they're all going to have a different appetite for change, appetite for investment, appetite for community, for paying attention to things that may another retailer might not, or different things that really drive their behaviors differently. And excuse me, the idea that what is our number one priority, and we understand kind of that hierarchy of needs all the way down, but also who's most important in that whole mix, comes back to family first. And we've always told our team, family first, business second. Family first, you second, business third. Like whatever needs to happen within that whole situation at whatever time. I just really think that it's so important, because my journey within corporate America before we started Infinite Green was, I felt like I was going to be what all the stops I made along the way. I thought that was going to be the last place I ever worked. And invariably, those situations tended to be, all right, now they stopped treating me like family and started treating me like a number, or, not part of that community. And good, bad, or indifferent, for whatever reason, I chose to make moves when I did. But ultimately, you like to orient yourself around, those situations where it aligns with your own culture, your own perspective, and your own priorities, and that's where I think we are.
Yeah, agreed. I'm proud that we have established that as a foundation for our company.
Yeah, I am too.
It's very fulfilling
Yeah,
to be able to say that.
yeah. So a little bit of promo here. We're gonna have Vonage on ASAP. Kristy and Brett will be on with us as soon as we get that rescheduled. So watch LinkedIn for that. We also have some other things coming up. We've got some really fun sessions with some other partners. We're trying to do one or two of these partner perspectives every month. So we're going to kind of accelerate those, because we're starting to get some requests to be on the show and to be in partner perspectives. We're going to pull aside and kind of do a internal green room, which is our own internal team member kind of spotlight or team dynamic. So we're going to have some more of those. And what else do we have coming up, Scott? Anything?
We've got some podcasting that we're going to
Podcasting, yeah. We've got a golf tournament coming up in August.
Mark a calendar, August 14th at the Links at North Fork in Ramsey, Minnesota. 1 o'clock shotgun, but the registration link will be up shortly. So
11 a.m. get there, right? So
registration starts at 11. Yep. Tee off at 1. And so we're finalizing our sponsors right now. Thank you to our sponsors. We'll announce those shortly. And it should be a fun day. So hopefully everybody can make it to that.
And on the upper left-hand corner of your screen, if you're following along, there's a QR code for setting up some time with us if anyone wants to chat about family, or if they want to talk about business or AI or anything else that might be, concerning, or you want to chat about. We're always open to talking with our community, our audience, and really getting in deep with whatever it is that motivates you to want to talk to somebody or have community. And if you don't have that yourself, like I said, we're here to do that as part of our brand. But June being the kind of mental health awareness month, and we really support that and want to make sure that everyone has got that community to fall back on if they need it. Please use that QR code, set up some time, or you can find my contact information, Scott's contact information on LinkedIn, and give us a shout. We'd be happy to jump in. And even if there's not a time on the calendar that works, and that's important to us to connect with you. So any final words, Scott?
No, I just want to say that the most common questions people are asking these days is how do I get started with AI? Do you have a foundational AI kind of assessment that you can bring to bear, which we do. And so, if you have any questions relating to AI, I know it's a lot of times it's an industry buzzword, but there are some great applications for it. You just have to be prepared to be able to execute against it. And so that's what we're here for, is to bridge that gap. So click on the meeting button, and we'd be happy to talk through what that means and what a short engagement model might look like with us around AI Foundation.
Good point. All right. Well, thanks for spending any time with us. If you did, or even if you didn't, and you're watching this later, please give us a shout, give us some feedback, and watch for our sessions to be this session to be rescheduled, and then for upcoming sessions, you should see us at least twice and sometimes maybe 3 times a month in this format going forward. So have a great day, happy Monday, and